and we've got to find it. So if you're playing normal randomizer, well, here we go. We're off and see where we start. Everyone's starting at link 7.
And we're starting with the small key to Hyrule Castle. And that's something, and that actually is a good segue into something that I want to talk about real quick here, is key logic is a thing here. That small castle, that Hyrule Castle small key puts all of the chests in Hyrule Castle in logic. And it's simply for the reason that, well, Keysanity assumes that you can use your keys in the most ridiculous way possible. Like, you could steal the key from the guard and then use it in the back. So as a result, all the chests that's beyond the guard are key locked.
Alright, and Pink Kitty Rose is doing a pretty common strat of doing the fake flipper over to the mushroom hut, and we get the front of the tavern entrance. Walther entered the uncle entrance, but I'm not sure where that was.
It looks like it wasn't anything important because he's just moving on. And just a fancy castle entrance, but just leads into a storeroom.
Pink Kitty Rose showing us lots of different fake flippering that happens usually only in this mode here.
Hey, there's Magic Bat.
So that means the drop down here would be the Magic Bat spot?
Yes. Pretty much anytime you can choose between drop down or entrance, choose the entrance. Because you can tell, because all the entrances are unique in that you can pretty much figure them out just by entering them.
Yeah, that makes sense. And Pink Kitty Rose doing the hula hand trick to grab 225 rupees, and then she's gonna do the same routing that Walther did. They're basically just swapping routing. So he went uncle, she went mushroom. Now they're swapping it out.
Yeah, and that's exactly why someone mentioning in chat drop down might lead to Ganon. That's exactly why you check the entrance first and not the drop down, because you don't want to get stuck in Ganon.
Well, you wouldn't get stuck. You would just have to take a death and then go back to the beginning. So yeah, that could be pretty frustrating.
And it looks like it was indeed the fairy drop down. That's normally where the Magic Bat is for us today.
So far, we haven't ended up in the Dark World.
Yeah. Also, you might have noticed we have not seen a map check yet, and that's another thing that Keysanity provides. There is no map information available to our runners from the start. They need to find the dungeon maps in the item pool in order to reveal that information. Alternatively, they can talk to Sahasrara or the bomb shop vendor if they can find those entrances to get the information from them instead, and that'll be jotted down their map for the green pendant and the 5 and 6 crystals respectively.
So here's a question. How important is the Moon Pearl?
Very.
Early? Is it very important early?
Well, consider this. Oh, wow. Lumberjack Cave is this Lumberjack. That's actually an okay spot. And there's the Curiosity Shop. But one of the things that the Moon Pearl does is it lets you do Dark World dungeons. That's the main thing. However, the logic of Crossworld could have you traverse connectors through the Dark World to find your Moon Pearl. And our first big key sighting here as well is we found the dam. That's an important location. And there's six.
Yeah.
So the dam here is unique in entrance in which it will stage rain. And then you just have to go find the swamp and you can enter it no matter where it is. And that also means that this item next to the dam's drain location, or where it is normally, is just free. And we have a glove at the mushroom spot. Nice find there for PKR.
It's a convenient spot for that glove.
And the hideout didn't move.
Nice. Sometimes the randomizer doesn't feel like randomizing it.
Well, seeing a common drop-down hole is a lot more common because, like I said earlier, they're only shoveled with each other.
Sure, that makes sense.
With the exception of the Skull Woods drop-downs, which are shuffled with just within their dungeon.
Walther 4 finds the graveyard ledge with the swagnet as his reward.
Yeah, not much we can do there.
And if you're used to playing, if you're used to playing normal randomizer, there's so many entrances that you just skip. Like, for example, Pink Kitty Rose just went into the fortune teller's hut. That's something nobody ever does unless you're playing an entrance seed. So
PKR finding Spiral Cave. Sorry.
If you're interested in doing it, then get used to going to places that you're not normally going to be going into.
PKR finding the Waterfall Fairy, but also found Spike Cave, or Bumper Cave and Spiral Cave. Choosing not to go down them because they're both one-way entrances, and, well, in the case of Bumper Cave, she has no hook shot to get across the bumper. The cape would also, of course, work. And in the well today is the well. What?
Well. Yeah. 2 for 2.
Alright, so that means... I think that means Ganon's gotta be in the grave. I don't think anyone's checked Sanctuary yet. Is that an ice rod?
That was an ice rod, my friend.
Well, this is kind of funny, because this entire dungeon is sort of like finding out little ice rods. The big keys, a couple of certain small keys, like the one for Swamp.
That's a pretty important one. And we got flippers as well.
Yeah. So, I said small key to Swamp. I'm not making that up. If you recall, there is always one chest at the very entrance that has a small key. That is shuffled. And Agate Tower does have a little bit of potential value because it has 2 chests, both normally containing small keys. But because it's Keysanity, they could be items. They could even be progression items. Yina giving PKR a shield.
Feels like we're seeing a lot really quickly. I guess that happens in places like Kakariko with lots of different entrances.
Yeah, we saw PKR and Walter now buying capacity upgrades for bombs. It's going to be kind of useful there, and it's also a nice way to get a whole bunch of bombs right away.
Yeah, refills you bombs, gives you 5 extra. It's nice. And the bomb shops aren't in the normal locations. We got Pyramid Fairy.
So I'll get into Dark Palace and some extra bombs.
So it also makes sense purchasing those bombs from the Pyramid Fairy because we don't know where the bomb shop is.
Yeah. Just a bomb shop in general is always nice to find, though. Speaking of which, we have Spectacle Rock Cave here. And I'm not...
There's just a couple of bombs there.
Yeah, actually... sometime in the future, I believe we are adding hints to entrance, but I don't think it's implemented in this race, is it?
No, I think it's in beta right now, so.
Yeah. Ooh, that's a good entrance to PKR find. Not gonna check it right now, but that is the top of Hookshot Cave. And there's the bottom of Paradox. Ooh.
Yeah, that would have been nice that would have been nice if we had the mirror there, but it's a no-go. Meanwhile, Walter's picking up his ice rod and soon Ganon's Tower.
Ganon's Tower in Kakariko Village. This is a hotspot of items. And we get the Ether Medallion to start things off. So PKR can't do much in here, only can check the torch and leave. But hey, knowing where this is important. It may not be required to be Agate 2, but hey, there's 27 different item locations in this place. More than likely, there's a little bit of progression in here.
And since the goal is crystals, we may not have to even climb Ganon's Tower at all.
You say that, but remember, there are 4 chests up there, and for all we know, Ganon might be in the pyramid.
That is true.
And Hera is over by the blacksmiths. PKR are gonna use a couple of the bombs here to check the entrances and see, or check downstairs at least. It's a small key, but isn't the small key to Hera?
Even if it is, we don't have a fire source, so...
No, it's the small key to Swamp that is equally as important. If not more so, even.
Yeah, so there's some big keys that we don't need. For example, Swamp. We don't need the Swamp. There's the map. We don't need the Swamp big key to beat Swamp. We don't need the Skullwoods big key to beat Skullwoods.
Yeah, every other big key is required, though. And Hera, I believe that was said it was a pendant. And this is...
Key.
This is Lumberjack Ledge.
Yep.
We're down to 2 entrances. I don't think we've checked Sanctuary, but Ganon's either in the grave or he's vanilla. And I don't think we've seen the well either, so...
You want the Pyramid Fairy? How about the Waterfall Fairy as well?
Not bad. Nothing interesting there. I said there was actually one constant. I actually lied. I forgot. There's 2 constants. The back of Lumberjack, or the back of the bar entrance, is always the same because it's the only entrance that you enter from the above.
Got the Chicken Hut and the library, and we're rewarded with the cape.
Now that will let Pink check the bumper cave over by the fortune teller. See where that leads. And this might get a little bit complex here. It did get complex. There's this mess. So keep in mind,
is locked somewhere else.
Yeah. So in order to get to the entrance of Race Game, right up there on that ledge, you need the mirror. Or to find a connector that will put you out of there. There's the cave up. Yep.
Yeah, so that's going to give us a piece of heart. It is interesting that we saw a bumper cave early, and we have early cape.
Now keep in mind, I don't think we've seen the Sanctuary location yet. Looks like PGR is going to check it real quick along with the entrance to Death Mountain here, which is random. It's actually the big chest side of the rock, and PGR's doing something fancy here.
I think she has the big key for Turtle Rock, doesn't she?
I believe... No, I believe that was Walther. If she has it, I must have missed it picked up. There's a lot of information being gathered here in this phase.
For sure. For sure.
Yeah, there's kind of like 3 different, like, phases of this, early, mid, and late. Early phase, you're just trying to figure out where your core entrances are. Late, mid, you're just trying to find your dungeons. And late, well, you're in go mode at that point. You want to get this done fast.
Okay, and Jim is confirming that Walther was the one that picked up the Turtle Rock big key.
Alright, change out room PKR has to be careful here. One bite from the chain chomp is instant death. Oh. Well, nice maneuvering, but only for 3 bombs. Gonna need to take a death here. That is correct. Bomb jumps are always out of logic because it's not a developer intended thing to do.
Yeah, you're not required to do any bomb jumps in these seeds, so they're not going to be they're not going to be part of the logic.
Yeah. It's not a glitch so much as it is a trick, and well, you don't need. And hey, Ganon is in the grave. Oh no. I think that means the well has the pyramids in the well. Or the well's at the pyramid, you know what I mean.
Right, so that would mean you'd have to do Agatude to get to the well?
Yep, and that's an extra 5 items.
Actually, the well was in the well. I think the last drop down is graveyard. The graveyard, isn't that right?
No. Wait.
The well was vanilla.
Oh no! This is a secret passage! Uncle's down there! We haven't seen the uncle! So Uncle's got himself somehow trapped in the pyramid in the alternate dimension.
Poor uncle. We found Thieves Town.
It's not as bad as the well, mind you, but that is still 2 items locked behind Agate 2.
This is a nice quick 4 items here in Thieves Town.
Indeed. Gambling found by Walter. We're not going to be doing that at all.
And Walter is just right behind PKR.
Yeah, the routes are somewhat converging here.
Not really finding anything good here in these 4 chests so far. Pretty empty Thieves Town for the first 4 chests. Not giving us any sort of progression or direction on where to go. Now here's a question. Neither of our runners have the Moon Pearl, but obviously they're not bunny sprites as they enter the dungeon. Can you answer why that is?
Because that's actually a very simple question to answer. It's simply because the overworld and the underworld are 2 different things, as well as the dark world being a 3rd thing. The game only checks to see if you're in the overworld for Dark World to turn you for the Moon Pearl. So you can enter Dark World dungeons normally in here, but it also checks if you have the Moon Pearl if you get hit by, say, a bunny bee.
Okay, so basically, if they enter any of the Dark World dungeons, the game is never going to check to see if they have the Moon Pearl. It's just going to assume that they do have the Moon Pearl.
Yes. Until they get hit with a bunny beam, in which they'll have to leave the dungeon and be back in the light world, which will reset their state.
And we've got Eastern Palace and the Ice Rod Cave.
Someone is asking what is the left sprite. That is Beau, B-E-A-U, from Animal Crossing. So the bunny sprite is literally a play on words. Eastern Palace map.
Pretty lame hype cave. And Walter agrees.
Yeah. That was over at Ice, the Waterfall Ferry, rather.
Where do we go from here? Where's the seed telling us to go?
Zora? We do have logical access to Zora, as well as any of the entrances up there. But we're gonna check what is commonly referred to an entrance as the shopping mall. And both Light and Dark World have that, sort of phrasing to it.
I wonder why Walter left.
Walter's most likely checking all the entrances here.
Alright, he's going back.
Yeah, he's probably gonna dive this dungeon and then save and quit. Also looking for maybe another item in case it's like the bow or something so he can full clear this dungeon.
Sure, that makes sense.
Now PKR is in the dark room here, gets through it.
Yeah, one of the easier dark rooms to navigate in the game for sure.
Narrowly gets that heart contain, or that 20 rupees there.
So Thieves Town and Eastern Palace. Disappointing us. So I imagine with the flippers, PKR is going to check Waterfall Ferry here and then make her way towards Eastern Palace, or maybe Zora.
I'd say at this point, checking the man on the bridge, also known as the hobo, is on the table, and then going up to check Zora and the waterfall entrance. Yeah. If she doesn't like what she sees up there on King Zora's, she'll probably save and quit and then go to Eastern area. Or maybe take one of the connectors at Kakariko to see where it goes. Start exploring a bit deeper into the paths she can take.
Our second look at Hype Cave. Terrible, terrible Hype Cave.
Well, there was a map in there, and it does tell us that 5-6 is at Eastern Palace, Crystal 6 specifically. And we know that Desert is a pendant as well.
Alright, what's Hobo gonna give us? The
This
3
one.
bombs he was holding on to. What's Hobo gonna do with those bombs? We'll never know.
Someone was probably confused about Eastern Palace's crystal being red. That's simply just watermarking, because those two crystals, the Crystal 5 and Crystal 6, are important. Because they unlock an entrance here for us. If this wasn't Crossworld entrance shuffle, it unlocks 2 items.
Alright, so instead of doing Zora, Pink Kitty Rose is actually heading up towards Eastern as suspected. Because you got the Sasharala check. I think the Eastern check. Is there one more?
No, there's only 2. Oh, there is another entrance down near the portal. So there's 3 entrances here. So PKR's looking to just check basic entrances right now. She's not worried about exploring deeper into the seed just yet, even though she could. So far, we've seen 2 connectors, both of which are more or less one-way connectors at this point. Although you could return from the Bumper Cave if it's not leading into Dark World.
Alright, so she finds the Ice Rod Cave, which gives her a full heart. Walther's actually going to check Waterfall Ferry. And that
is a Storyteller Cave.
Oh, okay.
Which, going back to the fact that Entrance is getting hints in beta, the Storytellers will actually have hints in Entrance.
And the difference here, Walther actually has enough money for Zora as well, so that could be a reason to head over to Zora. And we've got the Quake Medallion on the ledge there.
Yeah, that's kind of an important medallion, because we don't know if those entrances are required. But having them is always nice to have, just in general. Another fairy fountain for PKR, not having too much luck with the Eastern checks. Unfortunately, yeah, Zora's not paying out, but at least his ledge has something good.
So all we have left is the desert area, is that correct? There's a couple entrances over this way that we haven't seen.
Yes. Just the desert checks, but keep in mind, we know where Bumper Cave is. That's over in the Kakariko Fortune Teller. And we know that Spiral Cave is not too far away either. So we have connectors that we can go, and they can take us pretty much anywhere in the world. So it's more than likely that we're going to need to take those connectors to explore this sea and go a little deeper.
Crab popping out 20 rupees a time. That's nice.
So as for the two choices you could have regarding those connectors, as we find the back of desert, that's a good information to have. We know where that is if we need to go in. Oh, PKR.
So you gonna steal a key here? Is that their plan?
Yep, she's stealing the key. And this is exactly what I was mentioning earlier. She stole the key here so she can use it when she finds the front side of Desert Palace. But that means she'll need a small key and the big key to defeat Lammolas if she needs the green pendant. And that is considered in the logic. So that's why Lammolas will always require the small key and the big key.
So what's a Gina's cave? Where is this gonna lead us to?
I don't think Walter checked this. Oh, that's the bomb shop. Palace of Darkness is the other 5-6. That's good information. PKR doesn't need to find that map.
Okay. Again, as a novice to cross entrance keys, we're running out of spots, it feels like.
Yes, but as I said multiple times already, there are connectors available to both runners. The question is, which one do they want to take? Do they want to take the Spiral Cave and get the item that's at the end of it, but it's a one-way trip? Or they want to go to Bumper Cave, which they could work their way back through if they need to. But if it leads to Dark World, it's a one-way trip. Because you can't use the cave as a bunny.
And we found where Walther got the Turtle Rock big key here in the dam.
Yeah, and that means PKR knows where that big chest is, so she can check it for another item, which can probably lead her elsewhere. But it's very likely no, actually, I think we've seen every entrance out before those connectors, so we have to go through them. PKR is going to work her way down to the dam, though. Only sees a piece of heart there. Not interested. Walter now getting that same information that PKR got just a couple of moments ago. And yes, bomb jumps are not out of logic, but if you know your bomb jumps, it's a minor detail, really. You just know that whatever you get is either requires you to find the hookshot of the Cadence of Mario.
Alright. So where are we going now? Well, Pinky Rose is going to pick up her Quake Medallion here.
I think Walter is going to...
Where's he going?
Good question. I think he's going to check one of the connectors we found. Yeah, he's going to go through Hookshot Cave.
Okay. Yeah, this makes sense.
So where this will plop him out, we don't know. So we're about to find out. And it leads to Death Mountain, a great location to start exploring.
Yeah,
lots of entrances.
Yep.
Yeah, a lot of entrances here. Can't go to the top side ones just yet, but there's still about 3 or 4 you can check. And there's the House of Beds. I've actually heard it called Hotel Mario as well.
Nice.
It's a... I don't know. I don't get it. But, whatever. Float your boat, I guess.
Yeah, And Mario's there.
Oh no! The tech type bouncing on Walter has to go back to one of his starting screens.
That's tough.
I should also mention that the Old Man Cave, or at least where you find the Old Man, that is somewhere on the left side of Death Mountain.
Alright, PK Rose gonna get this Turtle Rock bomb jump and see what's in that big chest.
Yeah, setting up to the right pixel here. And it's only a small key to the tower here.
Oh, wow.
But PK does
give her access to one more chest here.
Yeah, so she's taking full advantage of the sequence break.
Walter gonna give it another go.
Yeah, it makes sense to me. And PKR finds the map to Misery Mire. Alright, more information is always good.
Yeah, a sword or some sort of weapon would really be nice for these runners here. Trying to navigate some of these areas without a sword or hammer or something, it makes it a little tough.
Oh, we found Checkerboard Cave. Unfortunately, it's only 50 rupees.
Walter wants it, though.
PKR, unfortunately, taking another death. Gonna nope out. And, oh, hello.
Mini Molder gives us 5 chests to open up. 4 chests.
Nice double as well.
Yeah, that was great.
Small key to desert. So there's the one desert small key that PKR stole. Dark Palace small key. And the compass to Eastern Palace. PKR, meanwhile, is going through Hook. Is going to go check the Bumper Cave entrance and see where that leads.
This is interesting because it feels like the seed is leading us this way, giving us escape.
Oh, and that's a good entrance to find. It's Hyrule Castle. The top part of it, specifically. 2 more entrances up here. And one of them leads to Swamp.
Wow. Did she take out 3 with 1 bomb? That was a pretty awesome.
And that rewarded for it. Big key to Dark Palace. One more check here. And it's just 20 rupees.
Alright, so Walter now checking out Spiral Cave. Has to be just a little careful. With no weapon to make it through. And the mini molder is doing 100 damage per. PKR found the Thief's Hideout. Nice. We got 20 rupees. The Mirror. That's got to be huge. 3 bombs. And a piece of heart. Or a heart piece, excuse me. And finally, a key to Turtle Rock. Wow, that was huge. And Walter finding... It's hard to keep track of both screens at the same time. Walter finding the entrance to Misery Mire. So Walter actually missed out by not using his cape. I don't think he had magic for it when he got to the top of Hyrule Castle. But he is now in the Dark World. So this is going to open up a bunch of different locations as well for him. looks like PKR is not too far behind him now. She makes her way through the spiral cave. Walther heading into the dark shop. Let's see what this takes us. It takes us to a dark room. We have no idea where that is. Could be a number of places. Just gonna give it another look. Foss couldn't really tell. And we got the front of Turtle Rock as well. Both the bunny sprites are hilarious. So we're going to have a lot of new information here as they make their way towards the Village of Outcasts and a bunch of more entrances. Nothing useful from the Sea House. And we've got Ice Palace in the chess game, Village of Outcasts. So we know where Mire, we know where Turtle Rock entrance is, we know where the Ice Palace entrance is, we know where Eastern, we know where Swamp is, we know where quite a few of the palaces are. Since we don't have a crystal or the moon pearl, not able to check all of the entrances of Village of Outcasts. And when PKR does this route, she'll actually be able to check the K45 entrance because she's got that mirror Walther wasn't able to pick up. Well, they're going to give us our first look at the bomb shop. And we've got ourselves another dark room. And PKR took a death and missed that one. I'm not sure if that was intentional or not. We're curious to see if we see any Super Bunny strats from Walther here. And since he emptied the dam already, you'll notice that the dam has been flooded, so he doesn't have to do that again. It just keeps it flooded. Unable to open the chest. That's unfortunate. We've got Paradox Cave with the Cane of Samaria. I missed the entrance to Paradox Cave. And the lamp. That's going to be really helpful as we've seen some of these dark rooms that Walther's had entered. Okay, so Paradox was actually the entrance to Thiefstown. Is that right? I missed it. Walther trying to navigate that dark room and unfortunately takes his death there. So PKR is actually going to give us a couple more checks that Walther wasn't able to make. Walther's going to need to make his way to the castle tower to get his mirror.
Oh, that was up there? Nice.
Yeah, the cave led to the mirror. And then we just found Paradox Cave, which had King of Samaria and the lamp.
And now we're seeing PKR checking this left side of entrance of race game. And it is the left side of Hyrule Castle.
Great find. That's awesome for her.
Yeah, especially because consider what's underneath our lumberjack tree. PKR can use this entrance to go get those 3 items. And it's completely in logic. And this is what I was also referring to earlier. That guard dropped the keys you saw. You could use that key on those back 3, on the escape sequence, to get the 3 chests that are normally underneath the sanctuary drop down. But because you don't have a key for anything past this point, that means all these chests are technically locked behind the Hyrule Castle's small key. That's
Right.
essentially how the key logic works. It's a very basic example I can give. If you really want to think of it another way, think of it this way. The randomizer assumes you'll use your keys in the worst way possible. So they account for that in the logic to make sure you don't accidentally soft lock yourself because you misused your keys.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And here's the race game house for Walter. It's another connector. And it plops us out on Death Mountain. Ooh, the small key to Thieves Town there for PKR. Good find. And we have Mire Shed as well.
Shed. Yep.
Comes to Misery Mire. And 10 arrows. Now, I've talked about maps, telling you that they give us information on our maps so we know what dungeons and our pendants and crystals. I've talked about how small keys and big keys work. I haven't really talked about the compasses yet, and really, there's not much to say about it. It just gives you an item count in your dungeon, so you know how many chests are in the dungeon total, and how many of those you've checked already. Basically, if you're not using a tracker, it gives you a way to make sure you full cleared a dungeon. And that's about it. They're not the most useful, I'll admit.
Yeah.
However, it does lead into another small nuance of Keysanity logic. If they expect you to beat a dungeon boss, they'll give you the map and compass somewhere ahead of time in the progression of the seed. Most people don't really care about that specific thing, but it's always something that you should somewhat keep in mind, just in case you're like wondering where you need to go next. You hear having a little bit of trouble opening up the wall. And nothing much underneath Sanctuary, although an extra heart container is always nice to have. So now PKR is going to use this entrance to check the other 2 entrances to see where they lead. Oh, and that's not good.
Yeah, she got locked out.
But she can take advantage of this. She can use the mirror to drop down here and check the item that's, or get the key that's on the lumberjack in the lumberjack cave. And it is a small key to Dark Palace.
Walter, meanwhile, found the Thieves Town big key.
And Walter is checking this left side for a very good reason. The old man is somewhere in one of these entrances on the left side.
How about the entrance to Pod as well?
I mean, that's a good find. can't full clear it because he doesn't have the big key, or a sword for that matter, or the bow. But he can get some work done.
But he can find the hammer. Hello.
French vanilla. Good flavor.
PKR using now her lamp and the Thieves Town small key to check the basement of, Tower of Hera.
Yeah, Tower of Hera small key. Now Walter's gonna burn a key here. Now that is a door you can normally skip, but he can't do it because he doesn't have the bow.
It's actually gonna burn 2 keys here.
Yeah, this looks like it'll be a partial clear. And PKR gets a blue potion. Now that is the first bottle, and we know where Sick Kid is. And there's the big key to Tower of Hera. Good find from Walter. Good use of his keys. However, this does mean he'll need to find, and a half magic too. He will need to find now all of his keys.
The problem is, it's nice, but Tower of Hera is also a pendant.
Well, I mean, there's still 4 items up there. Because you have, oh no, 3 items, my mistake. You did the big chest, you have the compass chest, and you have the item that's on Moldorm. Unfortunately, that map of Gaines Tower is 100% useless. Doesn't tell you where Gaines Tower is, doesn't tell you what anything there, and hello! So, PKR just found the chess game, and inside was the Gaines Tower big key. Keysanity,
Wow.
in Keysanity, that would be a huge deal. But remember, folks, this is a crystal skull. Agatude is not necessarily required. But, if it is, PKR now has that big key.
So whoever had 76 is our winner today.
Were you actually keeping count this whole time?
No, I just threw out a number there.
Alright, bottle turn in. Just for a lot of money. While they're checking the dark basement here, gets a blue potion of his own as well as a heart container. And we know this is technically in logic because of the lamp. It's just not in logic for Walther because he doesn't have it.
And he's out of keys. Let's see if does he have the big key for a pod? He does not, but he can bomb jump here and open 2 more chests in the dark room.
Yeah, these are out of sequence, but it will save him a key later to set up this double pixel perfect bomb jump.
You know what that potion also allows him to do?
Lets him skip the arrow requirement.
Right, he can potion glitch his way to 2 more chests here in pod.
Yeah, you can see the effects of comments right now on PKR screen. That she is using her lamp and key to Samaria to check laser bridge.
He doesn't need to use his potion, the potion glitch, because he just found the bow.
Oh wow!
So pod is stacked.
No, I would not use that word. I would say pod is rude. Because you expect to come in there with the bow. You expect it to come in there with the hammer. They're both in there.
Oh man, that is great.
And that means you pretty much have to use all of your keys. It's by logic. So you need to find... This seed probably most likely requires all 6. Well, you can probably get away with 1, so you can only need really 5. Which PKR is now up to? She's gonna check where this entrance to Laser Bridge pops her out at. Unfortunately, it's not a useful one, but it does give her another item.
Her first sword.
That's actually really good. Wow. PKR with the plays. She gets information that we will have to find Meyer at some point.
Oh, we found Meyer already.
Alright.
Don't ask me where it is, because I can't tell you. But we found it.
I'm sure chat will tell us. Quake needed for Turtle Rock. Now, that's not where Turtle Rock's entrance is. But it could be another dungeon, or it could be just a junk cave. Another storyteller cave for PKR.
Now I miss. Where is the entrance to Pod? It's on the it's on Death Mountain, right?
Yeah, it's on the left side. Covers the top. Game really wants you to go to Hera, it seems. And 5 rubies for PKR. She's over on this left side now. She's gonna start with Hera. And Hera is the old man cave. So she's gonna backtrack this cave to go rescue the old man. The exit had to be somewhere on this left side. Because of how restrictive the old man is normally. And there's Sasrala's house. You can see you go in one, and this will probably plop you out somewhere in the... Oh, no! It's a shortcut to the desert, but that's about it. Not really helpful there. And I think, actually, the entrance that PKR is going to end up next to is, in fact, Pod. No, but it's close by. I know that much.
So Walther needs to get his mirror. Pink Kitty Rose needs to make their way to Pod and get their bow and hammer.
She's in the area. It looks like Thieves Town was a pendant, which means we now know that our crystal, our eastern Pod, Swamp, Skull, Ice, Mire, and Turtle Rock. So the Ice Rod is required this seed. And we will be looking for the Fire Rod.
Yeah, it looks like Walter's now making his way towards the castle tower, which will get him his mirror finally.
Yeah, so they'll be catching up now. However, PKR's key count is much more favorable. She'll be able to actually full clear Palace of Darkness and be the first one on the board with a crystal.
There you go, Walter with his mirror now.
And PKR is going to Potion Glitch just for the sake of the fact that it's going to give her more convenient routing.
Yeah, this makes sense. She doesn't know that that bow is in the back of the Dark Maid.
Yes, Bo does not know that the bow is back there.
Yeah, that is correct.
It's a pun. Makes perfect sense. Walter's gonna be diving Swamp with that hammer in tow. Ain't gonna be able to full clear this dungeon either, but can at least get a little bit more progress than PKR did when she did her first visit. Although Walter probably wishes he had that big key right about now. There it is.
Yep.
So overall, PKR's exploration is paying off a little bit more than Walter's has. Gonna have at least Pod that she's not gonna be able to double dip. But we're only 54 minutes in. It's still anyone's race.
Yeah, this is still incredibly close.
Yeah,
so Walter's going to be able to take a look at 3 more chests here, and he doesn't have the Swamp big key yet.
Yeah.
He's going to be able to take a look at 3 chests here in Swamp.
Yeah, and really in regards to this being close, it's never truly... There's never really a true lead, I feel, until they're in go mode. Because you could spend maybe 20 minutes looking for that last bit of progression in cross keys and never find it, even when someone just finds it right away. So time variance can be a big importance here.
Wow, how about the mitts in Swamp Palace?
That's pretty good. That's something that Walter now has over PKR. So, can't...
And you know what? He couldn't check the other two chests because he doesn't have a key for it. He doesn't have the hook shot, so it really was just one chest, and he got really lucky finding the mitts.
Well, he could have checked Left Side Swamp.
I don't think he had a key. Did he have another key for it? No. He did the hook shot.
Remember the phrase, don't flood the key?
Oh, of course.
Yeah, you just get that
I guess the vanilla way of playing the game is also possible.
Oh, they're taking a moment to stop there. Most likely jotting down notes. And that is something that these runners do a lot, is take down notes. I'm surprised I'm not taking notes here, to be perfectly honest. I'm doing all this from memory. My brain is gonna be melted by the time we're done, most likely.
So PKR got her bow, and she's actually gonna finish up Pod.
Yeah, thankfully there's another Dark Palace key for Walter. So Walter could also now finish as well.
Walter doesn't have the small key for Tower of Hera, and he also doesn't have the lamp yet. Do we remember what was down there?
I remember PKR checked it, but I don't remember what it was. So probably nothing important if I don't remember it.
Yeah. Oh, it was her blue. It was her potion.
Hey, there's a single arrow. I was wondering if that would show up. Now, Walter is going to check Tower Hair here. Alright.
Yeah, you're here. You can full clear it. It's one more item. It's a quick boss fight, so it makes sense.
Yep. And as Hellster King goes down, the fight with Moldorm begins. Boss hard. For Hellster King. There's a phrase that needs to be said, but I'm not going to say it. The Compass to Dark Palace. Well, now that's just saying, tugging at Walter, saying, hey, don't do Dark Palace. And PKR's gonna start checking these entrances here. I forget where the race team goes, but she's gonna lose Bombing.
So PKR with our first crystal. Walter with our first pendant. Almost at the exact same time.
Yeah, only a couple minutes apart. And Walter's gonna follow the trail of the big key to see where that leads. He's smelling something about this seed here. I'm not sure if he thinks this is a pedestal seed or something, but he's entering another pendant dungeon. And that's actually another thing we should point out. If you think, oh, I'll just listen to the music, I don't need the maps or talking to Sasrala. We know this is a pendant dungeon. It's playing the crystal music. The music is deceptive. You cannot rely on the music to tell you if a dungeon is a pendant or a crystal. Using the cave to get past the Gibbos. Very nicely done. We're an hour in, still no Moon Pearl. It's gotta be here somewhere. Joining rubies for Walter up in the ceiling of the lion's hideout.
So
I have a sudden...
You didn't find the key for the small key for Thieves Town, so he's not gonna be able to open the big key chest.
No. I have a sudden feeling, though, that our Moon Pearl is in Thieves Town, though.
What makes you think that?
Just a gut instinct, really. Can't really explain it other than that.
I like it. I can dig it.
Because PKR has all the keys for Thieves Town. We just saw her pick up the big key as well. Until not too long ago. So it's probably nudging you over this way. And it's most likely telling you open the big chest.
Yeah, that'd be really unfortunate for Walter.
By cave check for PKR, and that leads to another connector. But it pops the routes of Ganon's Tower. Well, we know that's not going to be helpful at any point.
Yeah.
And it's time for Blind to be fought. You think the ice rod is cool? That was an easy pun, Blind. I'm sorry. That's a 0 out of 10 right there.
Walter, with swordless, is gonna have to do this just with the hammer.
Yeah, that makes this fight very hectic, very fast. PKR finding King's Tomb, only having arrows in it.
Doesn't get the script to fight down.
Running out of health. That's the blue potion. There we go. A well-done fight, and oh boy! There's the flute. That is him. That is massive.
Yeah, that's a big one.
That lets him check the back of desert without looking for a connector. That lets him check Checkerboard Cave, Thieves' entrance. And it lets him poke into the mire entrances as well. Not to mention, it's just faster movement on the overworld in general.
Yeah, big find for Walter.
Yeah, remember, he's the only one with the mitts. So, slowly but surely, he's kind of pulling ahead here. Gonna check the Ice Palace entrance, nothing much here. But yeah, he's slowly but surely getting a little bit of an edge over PKR.
He's gonna go activate his flute right away.
I don't blame him. Flute is massively important. So the path PKR needs to take is she needs to get back to Swamp.
get her Titan's mitts, and then clear Thieves Town. She's gonna choose to go left side in Ganon's Tower, though. Actually, no. She can go both sides of Ganon's Tower. This is gonna be a full clear of the basement.
This is tricky. She doesn't have the fire rod.
No, you're gonna see her enter the upper room here. Once she gets past the tile room here. And what she's gonna be doing is she's gonna go into the north room and setting up her reset point to be up there at that door. And then she's gonna bomb through the torch, fall in the pit on purpose. Meyer entrance is Bombos, by the way. And then what she's gonna do is she's gonna fall in the pit on purpose after lighting the torch beyond the pits. That'll set her at the northmost room. And then she'll just work her way south, lighting the other 3 torches. And that'll be just enough time for her to get over to the compass fort for chess. Or she's not gonna do it at all and make a liar out of me.
Walter did find Spike Cave in the Meyer shed.
And there's the big key to Ganon's Tower for Walter. Top of Paradox for Walter as well. And wait a minute, this is gonna give him his lamp. I just realized this is gonna be the lamp for Walter.
Yeah, this will be good.
Moon Pearls in Ganon's Tower! Left
Nice.
side JT!
So the real question is where the boots are the hook shot.
Your guess is as good as mine. There's the lamp for Walter. BK are gonna need to dive into Spiral Cave now. No fear. Now that she has the Moon Pearl. This is opening up a lot of checks for Pinky Rose. She just broke through the seed. But Walter still has the Titan's mitts as well as the flute advantage. Oh, she's already been down here. My bad.
And I'm just trying to rack my brain. Where could the hookshot or the boots be to unlock that Moon Pearl?
Oh, you're right. Oh, I have an immediate answer.
Where's that?
Left side swamp.
Oh, wow. That would be huge.
I mean, it's possible.
Oh, 100% possible, and that'd be really unfortunate for Walter.
Someone is asking, what have we missed finding Meyer era? In the Meyer area? We just found Spike Cave and not much else, unfortunately. We know that Meyer looked like it was Bombos.
Yeah, Meyer was Bombos.
So there's that.
This race keeps going back and forth because PKR picks something up, and then Walter picks something up, and it's like Walter has a little bit of advantage with the mitts, and then or the hammer,
And the flute.
PKR finds the Moon Pearl. It's like it really does go back and forth.
There's the map of Dark Palace. Walter's gonna finally check the escape sequence here. PKR using her newfound ability to stay in the dark world to check some more entrances. And we are missing a couple of dungeons. We're missing the back of Skull Woods. We're missing ice.
About the
front of desert.
Desert.
Now, the front of desert is an interesting predicament here. PKR, can you choose to select the two other entrances to see where they lead? Or she could leave and check Catfish first. Torch has money on it. I mean, I've heard of burning money, but I don't think they meant like that. Alright, so PKR is now using her stolen key. Finds the big key to ice. Good find there.
Yeah, everyone's okay. Again, one of those dungeons that you could possibly beat without it, but it does give you a couple more checks. A couple checks.
There's the small key to Thieves Town. Oh no. Oh no!
Hook shot or boots in Thieves Town?
Could very well be. I didn't even think of that. Oh, and hey, that's where Laser Bridge comes out at.
If the hookshot or boots are left side swamp or the last chest in Thieves Town, both of those predicaments are really bad for Walther.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's safe to say he knows his bomb jumps, but I don't think he wants to bomb jump Ganon's towers just for his Moon Pearl.
And Kern in chat brought up a great point. The right side of Hyrule Castle still hasn't been checked because when both PKR and Walther left, they were locked out because it entered them at the that stump there.
Ah, that is a good point. Well, PKR can work her way over to that side. But she's contented with checking all the Dark World entrances she has not been able to see just yet. Gathering that information slowly but surely.
Bonkroc's just giving us a piece of heart.
We have also a question in chat about PKR Sprite. It is Bo from Animal Crossing. And on the other side we have Grunkle's Stan. Or is it YT now? I don't know. I've seen some roguelikes, not all of them.
Alright, this will be really interesting because PKR is now going to go clear Thieves Town. And she actually has the small key, I believe.
Yes, and we know
chest.
that this is not only a pendant dungeon, which is meh, but it is also, as Sugar Working turns into nothing, this is also where the flute is.
Yep.
So she'll miss out on the Titan's Mints, but at this point, the Titan's Mints aren't really worth it.
Oh, for sure. I mean, they're nice to have, but they haven't unlocked anything for us yet. The flute, though, makes traveling so much better.
Well, the only two things it locks right now are the entrance to Mire and Spike Cave. But for all we know, they cannot have any sort of progression whatsoever. So it's one thing as one of those balancing acts. Do you do it or do you not? I think PKR is playing a little bit too much regular rando. She tried to go upstairs, check the hint, but realized, oh wait, no hints.
Yeah, that's muscle. That's just muscle memory coming into play there.
Version 30 muscle memory, yeah. Or maybe beta muscle memory. She probably remembered entrance hints, but they're not in the seed. Not today, anyway.
This is gonna be really interesting to see what is in this big key chest in Beasttown.
Walter going to the backside of Escape now.
I believe we saw this from PKR earlier. So
Yeah. Oh, that's something else we haven't even realized. Walter doesn't have a sword.
yeah, that's right. That first sword is on the floating island there.
Yeah, and the exit is at Laser Bridge. PKR, the only one of our two new featured runners to dive into Turtle Rock.
All right, we're about to find out if Walther missed anything important here, as PKR is about to check the big key chest here in Keysanity.
Well, PKR has already checked this in. We know it's nothing important. There's a heart container, there's some extra money, but that's about it. But here, on the other hand, just 10 arrows, so Walter dodged a bullet.
Yeah, real good for Walther.
However, Walter might check it anyway in fear that it's something important.
It's surprising he didn't do left side swap after getting those mitts.
In all honesty, he probably didn't think about it. And we're gonna see the scripted fight here from PKR. So if she's on the cycle, yes. Blind will go right. Perfect fight thus far. And that is a perfect blind fight. Gets her flute. Gets her useless pendant, hopefully.
We do have the back of Skull Woods here.
Ooh.
First time we've seen this.
I didn't see where that entrance was, did you?
No, I was watching the fight that PKR put on.
Well, we'll see it in a moment here, because Walter doesn't have a sword, so can't even go to the back and get some mushroom for his efforts. So that entrance...
That was Mimic Cave.
That's Mimic... Ooh. So we found the connector that led to Mimic Cave. Oh no, he... Huh? Oh, he entered from the right side of Laser Bridge. Gotcha. I understand now. So he entered this connector, which was the right side of Hyrule Castle.
Okay, there we go. And he picked up the mushroom, so that could actually be important. We'll find out.
I debate that a little bit.
Well, I mean, he could turn it in, and it could be something.
Yes, but for all we know, the Witch's Hut could be in Turtle Rock or Misery Mire. We don't know where that is yet.
Yeah, we haven't seen that one yet.
So, doesn't hold too much value for right now. Could just turn it in case he summons on the entrance later. But that is one of the longer fetch quests.
Wow.
Whoa!
The fire rod just at Stumpy.
Alright! So remember how I wanted that long monologue and then Pink proved me wrong? Well, that monologue no holds any value whatsoever.
So that actually makes Turtle Rock clearable. And you know, they've had the bow for a while. We know where the entrance to Eastern is, which is our other 5-6 crystal, which opens up the Pyramid Fairy entrance as well.
Yeah. Which is that the play to make?
Oh, that's right. We don't have the Eastern Palace big key. This is Keysanity. Dang it.
Lots of digs here. And All for a compass. That's a -5 out of 10 right there. And yeah, folks, for those just now tuning in, our Moon Pearl is in the southmost room of Ganon's Tower's basement. Ganon's Tower just being in the village, but that is still hammer or not only hammer lock, but it's also hookshot lock or boots lock because you have the boot spawn. And PKR is actually going to be going to Skull Woods here, looks like, which is incredible for her because this will be another crystal that Walter had to leave behind.
Yeah, this is big.
And someone asking where are the Titan's Mitts? The Titan's Mitts are in the Swamp Palace in the compass chest, so south of the big chest. Walter picked those up, but did not check left side swamp, even though he could. Actually, now that I think about it, could he have checked left side swamp? I'm trying to think, can you actually throw the switch with a bomb? He might have left side swamp on purpose then if he thinks he can reach the switch. Because I know the fighter sword can't reach. You need at least the master sword because it's too short.
Yeah, he could bomb it.
PKR is leaving the moth alone for the time being.
That's a little surprising.
She has to know that it's the crystal. I guess
Oh,
she doesn't want to.
Small key. She needs a small key. Did she not have a small key for it?
Oh, you're right. You're right. No small key. I completely forgot about that. Well, she at least knows where it is and can get it in short order. Skull Woods is still in its vanilla location. Matter of fact, that's where she's heading to right now.
I really want to see her make her way to Swamp. I really want to see what's on the left side there.
I want her to make her way to Swamp too because the Tides will give her a lot nicer routing in the Dark World. And also, well, you know, give her more convenient access to this portal, amongst other things. But it'd be exceptionally bad if it was left side swamp that had the hook shot. Because the PKR finds it there and Walter does not go back and check that. Also blue mail for PKR. That is just, I think, the nail in the coffin between these two featured racers.
Yeah.
Keep in mind though, we have about another dozen racing off stream here on the Speaking Gaming 2. Can't feature everyone, so we're only featuring 2, so you get 2 of the better ones as well. Walter going back, getting his revenge on Helmosaur King for having him double dip like that. Beak here finds the best shield. There's totally not a third level that is horribly bad. What are you talking about? Now, what's nice about PKR's positioning here is she could steal the key here that is normally guaranteed in the pinball chest, and then mirror, and then keep it for later.
Yeah, that would just be her key to the back of Skull Woods.
And we do not have the big key yet, so PKR is just gonna take her key and leave, which makes perfect sense to me.
Yeah, this now allows her to full clear.
Oh, but wait a minute. PKR, what are you doing? Go back. That might come back to bite her, because I don't think she checked the back of Skullwood's entrance while she was here. That could have been a dungeon. That could have been Ice Palace.
Oh, we've seen Ice Palace. I think we know where all of the dungeons are.
Including Misery Mire? I don't think we've seen Mire.
We've seen we've seen Mire. Again, don't ask me exactly where it is because I'm not keeping notes. But we've seen, I think that we've seen all of the entrances to the main dungeons, including Ice.
Alright. Still, could have been an item cave that could have had the progression that we were missing. Ah, and here's the Mimic Cave. And behind Mimic Cave is the Silver Arrows. That is an incredible find for PKR.
Yeah, that's nice. And chat keeping us honest. Ice Palace is in chess game, and Mire somewhere in Death Mountain. So
Okay.
we've seen them.
Lumberjack House for PKR. Nothing there that's important.
So we're an hour 26 in. What are we looking for? We're looking for the hook shot. Because that unlocks the...
Actually, we're looking for just the hook shot and another sword upgrade, and we are going to be in go mode.
Yeah.
Of course, we don't know where the hook shot is. It's most likely in left side swamp, or it's the boots in left side swamp, because that's what puts the Moon Pearl in logic. Moon Pearl's left side GT.
And so we need also a couple of big keys. We need the Mire big key. We need the Eastern big key.
You know, every time I say we're checking stuff out for go mode, I'm only looking at the items. I'm not looking at the keys. I always do that.
Yeah, it's easy to do, but there's it's still not very many items away. It's still only like 4 items away from go.
Yeah, so not too far off. But ideally, you would want the hook shot.
Well, yeah, we need it for Swamp for sure, and we need it to get the Moon Pearl. So,
yeah, what you don't want to see, I think, is the boots because those open up extra check.
Hookshot has to be. It's gonna be left side Swamp. I can feel it.
Well, like I said, we could also be the boots, and then we're still looking for a hook shot.
Yeah, but the boots actually can't unlock the Moon Pearl because in logic you can't bonk to the... I was wrong about the Stealthos room. You can't bonk your way to the Stealthos room.
Okay, so...
You could bonk your way to, like, the Firebar room, but you can't bonk your way to that room. So. PKR taking a fall from Troll Dorm, pulling out his most trolliest of dorms.
Oh, and someone bringing up a good point in chat that we haven't thought of. Our hook shot could be in the upper parts of GT.
Oh yeah, well, we got the bow. We've got the big key. That's true.
Yeah, the only chest it can't be in is the pre-Moldorm chest. Speaking of Moldorm, down goes Moldorm for PKR. And I think that's where PKR is going to go next. It's going to go up GT. I think she's sensing it.
Yeah, she can actually full clear Turtle Rock, but I think she's cleared most of it. She hasn't done the fire rod lock stuff yet. But here she goes. She is going right side GT because she now has the fire rod and the Cane of Samaria. So
yeah, this is going to be a full clear of the basement at the very least, or at least the right side basement. And maybe she'll go up the ascent and then mirror and get the left side if the hook shot's up there.
Yeah, it makes sense. It would make sense to go full right here.
What a nasty see this is too, to force you to climb the tower just to get your hook shot so you can climb back down. And here's the thing, Uncle could still have like the Eastern Palace big key on him. So
Sure.
actually might be required on top of that.
Yeah, that's true.
Or it could just be right here. Let's hope it's right here for PKR. I don't want them to get trolled by this Ganon's Tower.
Well, how about the Eastern Palace Big Key?
That's good enough. Now, if only the hookshot was here. Nah. And be right all the time. And Walter finally gonna be armed with a weapon. He has his dagger.
Hour 30 in, finally gets his first sword.
And still without a Moon Pearl, I want to add. But with that sword, he could go do some things. He's not going to GT, though. And PKR has left Ganon's Tower. Only checking the right side.
And Pyroman's bringing up a great point. We're not going to find the hookshot in UP because the fire rod is actually locked by the Moon Pearl.
Ah, that's a good point, and that means it's also right side GT couldn't have had the hookshot, but it's still a very strong possibility it could be in the upper parts of Ganon's Tower, and no one playing who was a veteran of Crosskeys or otherwise wants to climb Ganon's Tower in the Crystal's goal. It just feels bad, and I don't blame them.
PKR getting our first look at ice. She can actually fully clear this dungeon here. Looks like she does have the big key for it, so she can open all the chests.
Yeah. So I think one of the normal end goals of Crossworld, crystal goal, which basically means get all the 7 crystals. Ganon's vulnerable. You don't have to fight Aga 2. But there are sometimes seeds that are Aga seeds because of Aga 2 instead of Aga 1. This might be one of the cases in which it is an Aga 2 required seed. Or at least ascending Ganon's Tower, which takes a fair amount of time.
Walter heading back to Tower of Heron. He's going to get another bottle here. As he takes a little coffee break.
A moment of reflection to get his head on straight. The Sea's been throwing them curveballs left and right. And he still doesn't have his Moon Pearl, so he must feel really behind. Oh, he doesn't get a coffee break either, no.
Oh, I missed it.
Yeah. Normally it'd be super easy to set up a coffee break with the Case of Mario, but no magic. Can't do it. We are going to check these chests that are normally hookshot locked or small key locked. Alright, so hookshot cannot be in any one of these chests here in Ice Palace. Or at least the ones that PKR is about to check, because these are technically currently hookshot locked. We do not have any small keys here. So, with these, you need the hookshot to reach them. Thankfully, there's not much in them.
Telling you, left side swamp is the play.
I can see where you're going with this. I'm gonna say it's GT. No matter which way, the play is horrendous for either runner. Because no one likes left side swamp, and no one especially likes upper GT when you don't have to go up there.
Walther using the ether tablet to freeze those pokies and then one shot him with the hammer. That was great.
Yeah. Those Hokaboos stood no chance. And that entrance pops out behind Link's house. Boots locked, unfortunately. DKR is coming up empty here on the Ice Palace side.
Yeah, Ice Palace isn't giving us anything. She needs to make her way towards Swamp.
Or make the dive, or rather the
GT.
It's one or the other at this point. We know this from our vantage point, but they clearly, well, they are still trying to figure this out.
I mean, we could both be wrong. I think that'd be unfortunate for everyone.
Well, I'm thinking there's not much else they can check now, is there? Now have the Moon Pearl.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's more likely than not that the hook shot or the hook shot is somewhere before the Moon Pearl. And the only two locations that is before the Moon Pearl currently that we know of is the upper GT before Moldorm 2 and left side Swamp. Now, if I were to play the odds, that I would go upper GT. It's longer, but it's more item checks overall. 3 versus 2.
Yeah, for sure. We do know that the myths are in Swamp, though they haven't really given us much, I don't think.
Well, yeah, and actually, PKR might go to Swamp instead of GT, because to her, it's more item dense, because she hasn't opened up any chest bouts behind the hammerlock side. Behind the chests that are not hammerlocked. Beautiful double kill to finish off Cold Stare there. And they drop the Cane of Burna. So, have the other means of using invincibility. Not too useful when we've already got it. And Walther is breaking out into the front side of Turtle Rock.
Yeah, he doesn't have the Moon Pearl, so he hasn't gotten his Fire Rod yet. So it's just this one check, but he can exit out of the front.
What, this one check? I just realized this one check could also be our hook shot. Ah, wishful thinking.
PKR back in GT.
I think she has to know it's upper GT at this point. Oh no, she's gonna attempt some bomb jumps here, it looks like. Yeah, she's saying screw this hookshot logic. But there's a problem with this.
What's the problem?
We need the hookshot anyway.
Oh yeah, we know, yeah.
It is not only required for the Moon Pearl, but it is required for Swamp Palace, which is one of our crystal dungeons.
Right. I mean, hookshot is required. She's not going upper GT though.
Because she hasn't been to Swamp yet. If I had to say go to Swamp, this would be the time.
Where is that Swamp entrance? Do we remember?
I do not.
PKR can fully clear TR. She can do those Fire Rod locations, but we know that she's not gonna find the hookshot there.
Yes, because the Fire Rod's on Stumpy, and that's locked behind the Moon Pearl. And the hookshot is locking the Moon Pearl. We just haven't found that step in the puzzle yet.
Chat, remind us where Swamp entrance is. How did we get to Swamp?
I want to say... I want to say our swamp was in Kakariko? No, Death Mountain.
She's gonna finish Skull Woods here. This is a good play.
Yeah, has enough keys.
For me, the Moon Pearl is Stalfos room of GT.
Yep. Which means it is hookshot locked in. Oh, Walter being clever now. Walter taking an intentional death to do a glitch. The glitch is known, fittingly enough, as Super Bunny Revival, as the Super Bunny Revival. Remember how I said earlier that they check for your state only in the Dark World overworld? Well, if you die and respawn, you're put in your default state, and it only checks that you're in the underworld. Oh, Dungeon Bunny Revival. I got the name wrong. My mistake. I don't do it that often. Yeah. Walter's gonna be doing Dungeon Bunny Revival here to explore the front side of Skull Woods.
And PKR picked up her next crystal from Skull Woods and just a 10 bomb drop, so nothing fruitful there. We really need to see this swamp play.
And I think PKR is heading that direction. Is it just in here? No, PKR is gonna go to Turtle Rock instead.
Yeah, this makes sense. Full clear. You're not gonna find the nope. Yeah, she's not gonna find the hook shot here.
No, she can't find the hook shot here. We already checked all the other chests.
So we're still looking for the hook shot. We're still looking for the Misery Mire Big Key. And I think that might be it.
We're also looking for a second sword.
That is true. We do need to beat Ganon.
Yeah. We don't need to fight Aga 2, but we still need to defeat the pig at the end of it all.
Crystal Skull does not save us from doing Ganon. It just means we have one less requirement to fight the pig.
We're about to hit the hour 45 mark. And Walter still doesn't have the Moon Pearl.
Yeah. I think we're gonna be here a little while. This is kind of a troll seed. We don't know where this hook shot is. Getting tighter. Runner wants to go check Swamp or Jumper GT.
Yeah, Walter has pretty much avoided the Ganon's Tower so far.
All right, try next.
Which makes sense.
Try next fight, and that is another storyteller cave that Walter just stumbled onto. Vigir left the Firehead alive.
Yeah, I think she thought she had the 5 hits and I just missed it, I guess. I'm not sure.
Well, she could also have been trying to stop the Ice Head from firing, which makes perfect sense as well, because you gotta do a hammer fight here. And it is 5 hits. But an X... Yeah, that was just perfect execution there with the hammer strats. Well done. And Trinex has the piece of heart. But that is crystal number 3, I believe, yes, for PKR. And we can pretty much assume, actually, that Pet is... Well, actually, no. Gotta remember, the keys can be on pedestal, so we could have our big key of Misery Mire be on Pet. And Walter's gonna do some more Super Bunny glitches. He's doing the mirror variation of Super Bunny. This is a frame perfect trick, or near frame perfect. You have to mirror the same time you transition into an entrance as a bunny, and then you'll be in Super Bunny state. Doing couple slashes to check. All for a heart piece, though. It's gonna be... I feel bad for both of our runners here, because they are deliberately avoiding the necessary evils of the seed. And I understand...
Head back to the swamp. You can do it, my friend.
Yeah, I completely understand why, too. Could be swamp, it could be GT. I think Walter's thinking GT. No, he's thinking Thieves Town. Or is he just resetting the area so he can get inside GT relatively easy? Yeah, he's going to GT.
So he's gonna check tower room first.
Yeah. There's gonna be a tower room check. If he wants, he can go to the upper sides of GT. PKR finally getting her flute online, actually.
And Walter may try the
Walter... Okay, Walter did give the bunny baby, so temporary activation. Alright, PKR, where are you going? He's walking somewhere.
It looks like Walter's making the play. Here we go.
Walter is going to ascend Ganon's tower. And I think PKR is going to swamp. I think it's over here, actually. I can't remember.
I think it's Eastern, yeah.
Oh, Eastern, okay. So PKR is just focusing on getting... Oh, is PKR thinking pedestal? That's a nasty idea.
She's thinking probably Pyramid Fairy, I guess.
Oh, that's right. This is a 5-6, not a pendant. My mistake. Desert's the other pendant, but we're missing.
But again, that's not going to get us the hook shot because we know all this stuff is hook shot locked. So Walter's actually in the best spot for the hook shot.
Oh, we're about to find out. Walter is about to begin the gauntlet. Just more ammunition for PKR. PKR trying to conserve some arrows here, but unfortunately does not kill the Igor in time. Meanwhile,
I'm so excited for this GT climb.
I am too, actually.
I've never been so excited for a GT climb that doesn't lead to the end of the game immediately.
Well, it could lead to the end of the game. It just will take a little bit.
Right. I mean, this is not for Ganon. This is we're not in go mode, but we're climbing the Ganon's tower just to see if we can find that hook shot.
For all we know, the Misery Mire Vicky might be an uncle.
That is true. Yeah.
All right. Blinking, you'll miss them. Here come the Armos Knights. And there go the Armos Knights. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Another false start. Come on, game. And Walter's using somewhat of a vanilla strat, actually. Not even a randomizer, just old school. Using the ice rod to defeat the Lamolas.
I like it.
Yar is now on the move.
Turns in the mushroom. Just need to find where that witch brewed it up.
Back into desert she goes. She's going to Gina's cave. Was this our swamp? I forget.
No, she's turning in the red
Super
bomb.
bomb.
So we've got 3 chests up here.
Yep, 3 chests coming up here for Walter the 4th. 2 in the Helmet Store room, 1 pre-Moldorm, 2. If any one of these is the hook shot, Walter is suddenly in a good position. And if we actually get the Missing Rare Big Key as well as a sword upgrade here, just all of them in these 3 chests, Walter is suddenly in a very strong position.
Alright, here we go.
Moment of truth.
Chest number 1. After he picks up the key.
Small key to this dungeon. Womp womp. Small key to this dungeon!
2 small keys, the GT. Oh, that's
wow! Alright, 1 chest left. Big key on the pyramid! There's our big key to Misery Mire! You're picking that up.
good. And there's our hook shot.
Hook shot at the top of Ganon's tower! Oh! Seed, this is the worst. PKR has to climb to Ganon's tower now. There's no way to avoid it.
Oh man. So we're in no mode now. We know where the Misery Mire Big Key is. We know where the hook shot is.
We know where everything is.
Inside the swamp. Play was not the play.
PKR is heading into swamp. There it is. It was on Hyrule Castle. Of course. How could we forget?
And the boots in Mini Moldorm Cave are the Mini Moldorm 2 chest. Unbelievable.
Wow. Okay. So the GT ascent was 100% required to get any sort of convenient way to check the Outpost room.
Okay, so what's great about this is Walter has now found the hook shot, and he has now found the boots. He still doesn't have the Moon Pearl. He doesn't know that the Moon Pearl is hook shot locked.
And what's worse, he doesn't know where the fire rod is, so he might think it's still in one of the dungeons that are in the dark world. He might think he needs to use his Moon Pearl to find it in a cave, but no, it's just sitting on Stumpy.
Yeah, so Walter needs to actually go back to GT again.
PKR is going to be diving here, get the Titan's Mint. And this will be the last occasion. And keep in mind, we're not in no mode yet. We forgot it once again. We don't have the Master Sword.
That's right. It's gotta be left side GT. There's gotta be a couple swords over there.
I'm saying it's on Uncle. Let's see his sword on Uncle.
Very, very possible.
Get in there, Walter. Check that Uncle. No? Alright, fine. PKR is checking left side swamp.
And
as is Walter. No,
yeah,
Walter's going to full clear.
Yeah, he's gonna full clear here.
This race is picking up now. Walter is suddenly in a commanding lead, but it still lacks a Moon Pearl after an hour and 54 minutes, hour 55 minutes now.
Yeah, it's actually hard to say if he has the lead. He has an advantage Not knowing where that moon pearl though is going to cause him to open a lot more chests, I think, than PKR. I think PKR will finally realize after Swamp that she needs to ascend GT. Of course, she did find the Meyer big key. That might take her to Myers before GT.
And here's the other thing. Walter still has all the entrances in Dark World to check after getting the Moon Pearl. He might not check something like Stumpy in favor of checking more entrances and getting more information. So this race is far from over.
Yeah,
but
we're not close to being done yet.
Both runners checking left side swamp. The difference is PKR will have to make a second lap.
How about this? 155, and we're both now just checking left side swamp after all of that.
I mean, if a sword is here, we are definitely in no mode. Heart piece on the left side. And the other side of Castle Tower, or not that Castle Tower, sorry, Swamp, is the small key to Turtle Rock. PKR is moving out. She realizes it. Wait, where's she? She's usually following the Tides. She's gonna check Spike Cave.
Yeah. Makes sense. I think the problem with a lot of what PKR has done is all the things that she did were locked by the Moon Pearl. And so she's not gonna she wasn't gonna find the hook shot behind any of that stuff. Which is unfortunate for her. But as soon as she finds the Moon Pearl, she actually is in a really commanding position.
Well, no, they're...
hook shot. Once she finds the hook shot, she's in a pretty commanding position.
Yeah. She did find an entrance that led up to the top of Hyrule Castle, though. It was on the right side. So... Swamp was still in play. The Titans, as we know, are in the logic. But they don't lead to the Moon Pearl. Matter of fact, they don't lead to anything important unless it's the second sword.
Yeah, myths don't lead to anything. Where is this?
Shovel.
Where is the Master Sword, though? That is the real question now.
You know what? Just to rub salt in the wound, I'm gonna say Randomizer room.
Yep, that makes sense. And PKR making the play.
Yeah,
she's actually gonna be really, really big for her. Oh, is she? Yeah, she's going.
Yeah. Yeah, this is the last location for PKR. There's no other places she has left to explore. She knows the hookshot's up here. So Walter will have a bit of catching up to do, because I also didn't even point out, even though Walter has got the hookshot now, doesn't have the Moon Pearl like we said, but look at the crystal counts as well. PKR only needs the crystal from Swamp and Misery Mire. And the hookshot will unlock both.
Yeah, she might, you know what, she might not even get the boots.
If she doesn't,
she'll get the hookshot. That puts her in Gumbo.
No. Remember, you keep forgetting.
Use the sword. Right.
Master Sword. We need the Master Sword. We can't defeat the pig with this dinky little fighter sword. He's immune to fighter sword damage. Heck, he's immune to Master Sword damage. We need temper damage.
Left side GT's gotta have a sword.
And that's right, Walter still has to get the fire rod and the big key from the right side GT. So, essentially, this is a triple dip Ganon's Tower. Ugh! Disgusting! Absolutely disgusting! I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, he's got to do the left side to get the Moon Pearl. He's got to do the right side to get Eastern Palace Big Key.
And he
he's
has to
got
go
to
to
Stumpy to get Fire Rod.
Yeah, it's a triple dip of Ganon's Tower because you have to go to the top to get the fire, to get the hook shot. Then you have to go left to get your Moon Pearl.
Yes.
And then you have to go right after getting the Fire Rod from Stumpy to get your Eastern Palace Big Key. This scene is disgusting.
I was really hoping Uncle had that sword, but he did not.
And yeah, someone pointing it on chat. Walter doesn't have the silvers. So if this will be a silverless Ganon for him on top of being a Master Sword fight. And that's going to take him a lot of time. But with the Moon Pearl, he'll probably find those silvers relatively quickly. And speaking of things he'll find relatively quickly.
So Walter needs to make his way to GT again. Like as soon as possible.
I think he knows.
Yeah, it looks like he's making his way back right now.
Alright, so... PKR. It's gonna get some really rude news here of these first two chats. I hope she doesn't leave immediately after this.
No, she wouldn't leave. It is pretty funny though. This entire upper half of Ganon's Tower was hilarious.
Let's hope she checks the Moldorm chest. Because she knows she doesn't need anything else except this hook shot. She is checking Moldorm chest, so she'll get her boots. Good playing from PKR.
It would be kind of funny if the rest of the swords are on the left side of GT, so you have to go back again.
Someone's asking, why is Walter running to the Smiths every time before he enters GT? It's probably to reset the NPC that's patrolling outside the house. Because if you get caught by that NPC, they enter the house and lock the door, so you couldn't enter Ganon's Tower if that happens. So it's really just a safety setup. And in 3, 2, 1, Walter is going to nuke everything. PKR is actually still going left side. There's the Moon Pearl for Walter.
Walter with his Moon Pearl.
Finally.
So, Walter just now needs to find that sword and go to Stumpy to get his Fire Rod, and he'll be in go.
PKR,
is
meanwhile,
just looking for that sword.
yeah, and only has to kill 2 bosses. She knows where both of them are. So PKR looked like she was gonna be behind for a moment there when Walter found that hookshot, but no, she made up for that time in spades by clearing more dungeons and just doing more thorough check.
Yeah, that just shows how good PKR is at these cross keys races.
Yeah, I would argue she's one of the best runners of cross keys. I've been in her chat every now and then, and she says it's one of her favorite race modes.
There we go.
Master Sword!
And another sword!
Tempered as well, and the big key to Swamp is... Alright! At 2 hours, 4 minutes, PKR is most assuredly in go mode. Got to go to Meyer, got to go to Swamp and finish that off. Knows where both of those entrances are. And Walter now has the Tempered Sword. He's just a Fire Rod away from go mode.
How stacked was that Ganon's Tower?
I wouldn't say stacked so much as dumb.
Oh, it was stacked, my friend. 2 swords, the boots, the hookshot, the Moon Pearl, the Eastern Palace Big Key.
all on all different sides of the dungeon, which makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. Hey, we're even gonna see the big chest this content because we never saw that. 10 arrows. Eh. And yeah, PKR is gonna go to Meyer first and foremost. And yeah, this is Gomo. She has 2 small keys. She'll just go straight to the boss. And Vitreous will just absolutely melt to those silver arrows. It's kind of a reason why Vitreous is vulnerable to arrows, but they lock the silvers behind Vitreous and Vanilla. Those things deal a lot of damage. I believe I've heard it as 100 damage in terms of total value. Yeah, regular arrows by comparison take 8 shots to defeat normal enemies. There's the small key to Castle Tower. And the last big key to Desert Palace has been found. And Walter is leaving. This is a triple diff Ganos Tower for him. He has no choice. He needs to go get the fire rod from Stumpy.
Yeah, and then he can get his Eastern Palace big key and finally be in go mode.
But he's gonna be a while still because he hasn't been able to explore the Dark World as a bunny at all. Oh no, is he thinking?
He might pull the pedestal here. Yeah.
He is thinking it's on pedestal. Oh no. Down goes Vitreous.
Yeah, and that's crystal number 7 for Pink Kitty Road.
No, it's crystal number 6.
Oh, what does she have left? Swamp?
Swamp. She did not finish Swamp on her first visit. I'm looking at IRC right now, and I see a message that says, whoever rolled the seed is fired. Thank goodness my hands are clean of that. But yeah, this seed is not nice, to say the least.
Oh, terrible for the runners. Great for us viewers.
Yeah. If I haven't said it before, make sure to give both these two a follow. They're going through a thing, and it's almost time for them to wrap up. What a seed. What a seed. Alright, PKR into Swamp.
What's rough for Walther is he needs to go to Stumpy, but then he has to go back to GT to find the Eastern Palace big key, so there's a lot of checks that he can still make. It's really unfortunate.
Not to mention, he has all of the Dark World entrances that he's been locked out to because of that Moon Pearl to check.
Yep.
It might take him a while to get over to Stumpy. And the Master Setup pedestal is being pulled. And today, it's a Master Key to Skull Woods, which is completely useless at this point.
Hilarious. PKR just a Argus fight away from facing Ganon.
That's right. And this will be a very quick Argus fight because of the Tempered Sword. No menu boss unlike Walter, who had to do some fancy strats. And look at that! PKR just melting away the Argus. Lines up the Silver Arrow shot. And with that, the 7th boss falls for PKR. The 7th crystal is claimed. And now PKR is eligible to fight Ganon and end this seed's reign of terror once and for all. Walter, meanwhile, is going to head into Misery Mire.
Yeah, and unfortunately he's going to full clear it.
PKR flutes to 2. This is the closest spot to Ganon. Ganon is at the grave. So at least one of Major's card. And actually, the Tiny Twins were a complete red herring in this seed.
Yeah, they unlocked nothing, basically.
Alright. PKR is entering the Ganon fight. What are you going to say to this Ganon? That's a reference to something. I don't know what, unfortunately. It was a movie quote. I haven't watched movies in a long time.
Alright, she one-cycled phase 1, one-cycled phase 2, and is already on to phase 3, so blink and miss it.
Now just needs to hit Ganon every time after he stops moving around. Once the floor completely breaks away, it is time for the darkness technique. Keep the torches lit, stun Ganon with the sword, let loose 4 silver arrows, and that'll be bacon. One silver arrow.
Setting up for a triple here?
I think that's a triple. 1, 2,
Wow.
3. And that's all she wrote. Get your GGs in chat for Pinkity Rose, who will be the first on the restream to win. But is she the first one to finish this race? Yes, she is. PKR has finished in first place overall in the race with an official SRL time of 2 hours, 12 minutes, and 48 seconds. GG to her. Excellent race.
See if we can get her to join us. I'm sure she's got plenty of thoughts about this seed.
And we are now joined by Pinkity Rose. GG to you, excellent racing. Although the top of GT was kind of mean, wasn't it?
Yeah, it got down to, I knew where the Moon Pro was, so I had to slowly work backwards to figure out where the hookshot wound up, and then when I got the Midson Swamp, I realized immediately, Paradox Cave just got put into logic. That was a fire source in the form of a lamp, and the Cave of Samaria, and the only thing based on my number of small keys and the fact that we got both the, we got the fire on the dark one and whatnot. Top of Ganon's Tower was the only place it could be. And when I realized that, I'm just like, oh my. And then the 2 GT small keys in Mini Hauser room was hysterical.
Oh, you're gonna have to watch it back because we could not stop laughing. The two vanilla GT keys, then the hook shot, then the boot.
We weren't getting into Mire today.
So there is something actually kind of hilarious in this scene. I know you sometimes try to do the bomb jump to right side. I was explaining it, and then you just made a complete liar out of me. I just went left side instead. It was hilarious.
Yeah, I don't like doing sequence breaking right-hand side without at least the hookshot or boots, and since those were both upstairs, well... Instead, I completely forgot how to do the bottom jumps on the left-hand side twice. Oops. Kept on getting angles that I wasn't aiming for. It was weird. I would have liked to have those swords sooner than go mode, you know?
Yeah, and both of them in that room. How about that?
It's just like, I could beat Ganon and check, I think Uncle dropped down on the pyramid and, Super Bunny Cave and whatnot. Or just mirror back to the bottom and see if all that 10 chests, 6 chests remaining on the left-hand side have what I want. 2 of them. Seems
You
dumb.
play a lot of cross keys. How does this compare to some of the other seeds you...
This one was volatile, because if you just stayed in logic, you'd get the hookshot and boots a lot sooner than most people, and then upon having that, you can, realize that there's only 2 more items left for go mode, which were in easy places to reach. So there is that. Because I think, if I'm not mistaken, the only things I found in the entire Dark World was the Fire Rod on Stumpy and the Misery Mire Big Key on the Pyramid Ledge.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah.
So, very late Moon Pro in regards to the logic this time. Oh my god, speaking of dumb things, this ain't Palace of Darkness!
Yeah. It's funny, Walter got there first, and he got a potion, and we're like, oh, well, that means he can potion glitch his way through the rest of this dungeon. And then he found the bow, and it was pretty unbelievable, as well as the hammer. That was insane.
Yeah, I figured somebody else got there, because it's just like, there's gotta be a connector somewhere that takes me to West Death Mountain. But then I found the mirror super early by making use of that bomb jump into a rock to get the only magic pot I can think of, so I can go through Bumper Cave.
Unfortunately, Walter got tripped up by that Moon Pro pretty hard. And no matter which way you slice it, this was a double dip Ganon's Tower.
Oh yeah, like, that was very silly. It would be the best way of putting it. I was out of logic for what, 2 hours?
Yeah, you got the Moon Pearl like about an hour in, and that changed everything for you, really. You cleared a lot more earlier than Walter did.
Yeah, and poor Walter checked the pedestal. That small key, by the way, was for Skullwoods.
Oh, that's where that was. I would have liked to have had that when I found Skullwoods the first time. There's a lot of backtracking for me this scene. I could see some 2 happening on this if all you did was just follow the logic. Don't try to break it as hard. But
Yeah,
so
but
tempting.
at the same time, I don't blame you for breaking the logic because this was a Crystal Skull. Who wants to do the top of GT in a Crystal Skull?
I have a nickname for these types of scenes. It's called Crystal Lulls.
I think that fits.
In theory, it's supposed to be a crystal skull, but you're climbing GT anyways because there's progression up there. Even my practice scene had the Ice Rod and Thieves Town Big Key up there, so it's been a day for crystals. Oh.
We enjoyed it. I'll tell you that much. It might have been hell for you guys, but we enjoyed it.
Hopefully, chat enjoyed my wandering all over the stratosphere of sequence break hell.
Oh, they did. They did. That was a super entertaining scene. The fact that you beat it in 2:12 is pretty astounding.
Yeah, even though you were sequence broken, you still made steady progress on your crystals, so when you finally figured out the way to get to go, you were still in a good position.
I wanted that Meyer key and freaking another sword so bad for so long. It's like, please, please, I just need these 2 and then I can go catch up on the hookshot wherever it is. And eventually it's just like, I give up. I'm just gonna check and see if I can find where the hookshot is first, because maybe they're both locked behind it. And it was a really good thing that I decided to put off going to Swamp just a little bit longer to do Big Bomb, since that got me over to Pyramid Ledge.
Yeah, and the Titus Mitts was a complete and total red herring that unfortunately Walter did find first.
That's the thing, they're not. That's what put Paradox Cave in logic.
Oh!
You needed those. You needed Flute from Blind and Mitts from freaking the Swamp Palace, so you can mirror up to the back of Desert Entrance, which is Paradox Cave, where you got the Cave of Samaria and the Fire Source to let you climb up GT.
Cross keys is so ridiculous.
It really is.
Like, that was necessary. That flute was technically required, even though you didn't have to do it. You didn't have to touch any of the pendant dungeons minus dipping into Hera for like 2 seconds. I think there's a big key in Desert Palace as well, but that might have been a fetch quest key.
Well, what's great is Walther actually entered Swamp earlier than you, but you had the Moon Pearl. So we debated for quite a while whether the hookshot was either going to be left side Swamp or the top of GT, because Walter skipped out on Swamp right after getting the mitts. And so we in chat were debating where the hookshot was going to be. We knew it was one of those spots. And you guys checked it both at the same time.
There is some validity to making sure to keep track of the logic of these types of seats. It's rough, because these seats are crazy. But if you can keep track of the entrance and key logic, you can decipher things like where that hookshot is, because that was my last logical location where that could be. I checked everything else.
Oh no, Walter's checking Aga 1 for his fire rod.
It's just not stopping.
Well, there's the gold sword.
Ah, nice.
It was in the first chest.
Sword placement as well.
And he got the second. He has a key, so he's gonna check the second chest. And it's the mirror shield.
What's unfortunate for Walter is he still needs to go to Stumpy to get the fire rod, and then back to Janet's tower to get the Eastern Palace big key.
Yeah, I was kind of happy when I found that.
Yeah.
Oh, all right, I'm gonna leave you guys to it. My goodness, both the seeds I ran today for entrance have been insane in the best ways. So,
well, after all this, I think you can consider some rest. So, well, once again, folks, good GG's in chat for Pink Kitty Rose. First in the overall, first overall in the restream, first overall in this daily race today. And speaking of daily races.
I'm gonna slip away now. Good night, everybody.
Alright, so speaking of daily races here, joining us later tonight on Speed Gaming 4 when we will have a standard seed for you. And I mean standard rules, so we're going to see the escape sequence. That will be, once again, on Speed Gaming 4. So, yeah, make sure to tune into that. Meanwhile, let's keep an eye on Walter here as he gets through. As far as who else has finished this race, no one else has finished except for PKR.
Yeah, that's not surprising.
Yeah, she dominated the scene.
Tough.
And there's been no forfeits either, so people are sticking with it, and I can get behind that. Tenacity is a huge thing when it comes to randomizer. Just not giving up. Because you're not... The best way to put it is you're not going to get any better if you're just going to forfeit every time the seat doesn't go your way. So it looks like Walter is thinking catfish. Finds the front of desert. So now that we've seen the seed finish, what do you think of it, Walter? Or, not Walter. Fear Agent. Getting names mixed up. This is gonna be a long one, I feel. Alright, well, in the meantime, while there's gonna be chicken deaths here for all his items, man, I'm just thinking back on the scene, and it's kind of brutal. At least we didn't have something like the book to throw us astray here.
No, we just had random GT items all over GT. Yeah. This is a rough one.
It is a rough one, but kind of entertaining as well.
Super entertaining. The rougher the better for us, I'll tell you that much. We should give our runners a follow. I mean, PKR put on a clinic in Cross Keys, and we want to send love and encouragement to Walter to get through this. It's not even like he's doing poorly. He just went up against PKR, and PKR destroyed the seed. There's still no one else that is finished. So.
This seed in general has just been really bad, yeah.
Yeah, so make sure you send love, get those follows in. Unfortunately for Walter, he's going to probably full clear everything.
Yeah, he's nowhere near the fire rod. That's all he really needs is that fire rod. He's going to be like, oh. Back to GT, I guess.
Yeah, he's also got the fire rod locked spots of Turtle Rock. I mean, it's rough.
Alright, so catfish being checked. What do you think is going to be on the catfish? I'm going to say the book. Just throw more stray.
That's a compass. Close enough. You know what the interesting thing is? If he goes to check his shovel, he might realize, oh, Stumpy.
Yeah. That would be good. Go check your shovel, Walt.
Yeah, the mushroom was turned in by PKR, but we never found where it went. We never did find where the mushroom turn-in was, so it's probably medallion locked.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Because I think the only two entrances we haven't seen yet are the Turtle Rock entrance and the Misery Mire entrance. And I suppose this one too. Oh no, that's just a fairy fountain. Oh, we did see the potion shop? I don't remember where that was then.
Yeah, I don't remember seeing it.
I mean, we turned in the mushroom. The potion shop was there. We just talked to the witch outside, but we never found the interior of the potion shop. It's probably here in Turtle Rock. Let's see. Oh, it's just a fairy fountain, so
probably Meyer then, which is
Probably.
Bombos locked,
probably.
which we also never found.
So I'm saying we did see the interior, but I don't remember where.
We saw the bomb shot because PKR turned in the red bomb.
Yeah, we haven't. I don't think we've seen the potion shop. We've seen Super Bomb. Super Bomb's over at Agina, or close by.
Yeah, I think it might be Agina. All right, Walter, you're so close. You're so close.
And yeah, generic shops have red potions, 10 bombs, and a shield, so... It was most likely the generic shop you're thinking of there in chat.
This could be it. I think this is it.
Yeah, I think this is finally the piece of the puzzle he's missing. So Walter, when he checks Stumpy, will be in item coma, but he will not... Oh, he's not going that way!
No, he is. He's going. This is it. Oh,
Look at this.
no.
Bonk rocks first.
We have had our second place finish.
Oh, Super Bunny Cave. And yeah, GG's for Bonta, second place with a time of 2 hours, 31 minutes, and 39 seconds. So yeah, we have not seen Super Bunny Cave. Wait, we haven't seen Super Bunny Cave. Does this pop us out of Meyer? Oh, we can't go that way.
All right, so that's good. That's good.
We never saw the back of the skull was, and I forgot to ask PK why she didn't check that entrance. Oh well.
All right, step one, check Stumpy, which Walter's going to do right now.
Step 2, go back to GT as soon as possible. Because, ladies and gentlemen, Walter is in item go mode, but not in true go mode. He still needs the Eastern Palace Big Key, and that is back on the right side of Ganon's Tower. But yeah, that just shows you how far ahead PKR was. Nearly a 20-minute difference between first and second place.
Yeah, that's huge.
And most of it was because of a sequence broken Moon Pearl. She had to find her way back to the logic. But Walter here is getting led straight by the Moon Pearl, really.
So hopefully he nears, goes back to Yakariko, and just does GT while he's there.
Yeah. And leaving that compass behind, as one should.
Alright, he's doing it.
Yeah, always floating away. And
he
as he
just
flew...
had our third place finish.
Yep, Haiku Type finished in third place with a time of 2 hours, 33 minutes, 51 seconds. So, our top three has been decided in this race. The runners are slowly trickling in now. I think PKR's 212 kind of woke them up and realized, oh, it's one of these kinds of seeds. Yeah, sequence breaks do work out, I will admit that, but even if you sequence broke the Moon Pearl, that just made it a triple dip into Ganon's Tower at the end. Because you had to go get your Moon Pearl, then when you came back, you had to get your hookshot anyway to put the Moon Pearl in logic, and then if you didn't have the Cane of Samaria, you had to enter GT a third time for your Eastern Palace Big Key.
Yeah, this is what I was worried about, him going back to Ganon's Tower too. check the fire rod lock side, possibly after doing Trinex.
Yeah, he's gonna be here a while, folks. And this is really just him being led astray by the Moon Pearl. Because it was so late for him. He has left so many checks unchecked because of this. And that's really where the PKR's advantage truly was. She was able to efficiently route the seed so that she didn't leave as many stones as few... Wow, that was unique. She left as few stones unturned as possible. Matter of fact, her hookshot was her last location. And even then, she just like, alright, let's check GT, make sure there's nothing else of importance here. She finds 2 swords, puts her in go mode.
Yeah, this isn't the worst. He does have to clear this dungeon, so it's not a huge time loss, but it definitely takes a little time. If he continues on back through the rest of the dungeon to check the fire rod lock side.
And there we go. Walter has defeated Trinex. His 5th dungeon done. Still needs the big key from Eastern Palace. Going back in.
Yeah, fortunately these checks won't take him too long. But again, he's right near Gan's Tower. Hopefully that's his next play from me.
Yes. And if you're just now tuning in, why are we saying he's so close to Gan's Tower? Gan's Tower is in one of the... I call them the Neighborhood Watch over in Kakariko when you don't have Ag defeated. He is in the right house of those 2 that patrol outside their houses.
He's fluting to 3. Oh, heading the wrong direction though. He might do Ice Palace next.
Yeah, this is looking like Ice Palace. He might, unfortunately, last location this time, we might be here a while as a result.
We'll let you know if we have any more winners so far. First place was Pink Kitty Rose, time of 2:12:48. Second place was Bonta, time of 2 hours 31 minutes and 39 seconds. And in hiking type, in third place with 2 hours 33 minutes and 51 seconds. So no other finishers.
Walter's going to be full clearing ice here. Not a good feeling, unfortunately. But he does have all the keys.
Yeah,
so.
That, of all of the locations, the Keysanity Palace Big Key is probably the worst.
Kinda, yeah. I'll admit that.
Because it wants you to climb GT, then go back to GT to get the Pearl, then go to Stumpy, and then come back to GT again. That's pretty gross.
And it looks like... Yes, just now we have 4th place in the form of Plasma Kappa at the time of 2:39:58.
Send help.
Send help. Alright, so Walter's gonna be going through Ice Palace here. We know from PKR, who did also pull through this, that there's not much here to speak of.
I'm trying to think of what else does he have to check after this.
GT.
Yeah, I think that's about it. I think he's gonna be out of spots after this.
I mean, he still has Spike Cave, he has a bunch of entrances,
Oh, he did Spike
but
Cave.
nothing...
Oh,
well,
I mean, the actual
regardless.
Spike Cave entrance, you mean.
Well, no, actually, I meant the interior Spike Cave, I forgot. Yeah, there's just a lot of random checks you can do. That could be bad. Yeah, he got that Moon Pro rather late, so there's a lot of available checks that he could do.
He's about to pick up his 6th crystal.
Yep. 6 crystal.
It's hard to be so close and yet still so far. Great cold stir fight. Just gets him in the corner there with that butter sword. Just a couple slashes. Cold stir goes.
Yeah, gets his blue cane. And at this point, we know where most of our items are.
Yeah, I think the only thing we haven't seen is Bombos.
Yeah, Bombos, which at this point has to be on a tablet. And
Oh, he's making the play. He's doing it.
let's see. Come on, get it. He's going right side.
He is. All right, Walther's going to be hitting go mode here in just a few minutes.
This could have been a lot longer of a check to be fair, but I think he's out of items. Like, I'm trying to think, where could our book be? You know, we never checked the bonk rocks by Western Sanctuary. That could have been the witches. Witches, though, had a map according to the thing.
I don't remember seeing. Did anybody check King's Tomb? I don't think so, right?
No. So it could be an entrance that you haven't seen yet. This is gonna be the last check he does. Oh, there's the other Smoky to Skull Woods.
There it is. 244.43. Walther is officially in go mode.
Yep, gotta go to Easter now. And 10 seconds later, Dracarys finishing in 5th with a time of 2:44.53.
GG's to Dracarys. There you go. Top 5 taken.
Yep. So we have about another 10 left in this race.
I'm excited to hear from Walter. I hope he joins us.
I will hope he enjoys this too.
This Eastern Palace run will be real quick. Just have to run through here and go take down those Armos Knights. With those silver arrows will be done in a blink of an eye.
Yeah. And then either a saving quit or a flute to 2 will be enough to get him over to this graveyard so he can go fight Ganon. Something I am only a little bit concerned with is his magic, but I think he gets a top off when he defeats Armos Knights anyways, so
Yeah,
that's
so
not gonna
yeah,
matter.
that'll be fine. Even, I mean, with half magic, what he's got now, Buttersword, he doesn't even need a magic refill to beat Ganon with it.
I suppose not, but it helps. Gets full magic anyway. Alright, blinking to miss it. Down. Here come the Armaments, and down go the Armos Knights. Once final time.
And with that, Walter picks up his 7th crystal, and get your guesses in for how many rage slashes we're going to get before we get to Ganon.
Also, wow, he is pretty much full clear to see. Look how many heart containers he has.
That is a lot.
Just a that's wow. This is gonna be a flute to 2. Oh, flute to 3. He values the highway a little bit more.
And with the butter sword, should be able to make short order of the bacon here. Should be able to one cycle the first 3 phases again. First 2 phases, excuse me.
Oh yeah, 6 slashes versus the 12 PKR did. She did some spins though, which does butter damage. Yeah, that was 13 right there. He's in the next phase regardless, even if it was a little early. Few extra slashes at Ganon because he can. Pokes him in the foot.
He deserves it. Ganon placed those items in a very mean spot, so he deserves it.
Oh yeah, this was a good seed. There will be another race for daily races at 9. But as far as other races on the schedule, well, check the schedule. I actually don't have it up in front of me.
But get your G's in chat, folks. Walter the Fourth has finished his seed. We'll get an official time for you as soon as he crosses the threshold and finalizes it.
GG,
What?
Walter.
Yeah, what a seed. And that official time is 6th place overall with a time of 2 hours, 49 minutes, and 24 seconds. Wow, actually, that's a rarity. Our timers are actually synced up pretty well to what the SRL results are. There's usually some sort of little bit of desync, but because of timing, but it works. Ah!
That was great.
Go at hyperspeed up for us here. We'll see if he wants to join us for an interview.
And looks like he is going to be joining us here in a minute. And we are joined now by Walther Forth. Walther, how you feeling, man? GG.
Yo, what's up? So before this race started, I always climb Gannis Tower in entrance, and it's always like for nothing. So before this race started, I was like, whatever happens, I'm not gonna climb Gannis Tower today. I'm not gonna make that mistake again.
Wow, what a proclamation to make in this.
Yeah, it was kind of a mistake.
Yeah.
I think I've never seen like 2 small keys being up there. Because like if we had more small keys, then it would make more sense to climb, because it would be like, oh, well, the logic small keys to go upstairs. But no, they were hiding upstairs instead.
Yeah, that was
Such a stupid placement.
The sequence of 2 small keys, the hook shot, and then the boots was pretty insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the main difference between what happened with you and with our winner PKD Rose, who was also featured on the restream, PKR did a couple bomb jumps and sequence broke the Moon Pearl.
Yeah.
Which overall threw her astray, but because she had the Moon Pearl and the mirror, she was able to clean up a lot nicer in terms of her checks, not leaving as many spots behind. She did end up last locationing the hook shot, though.
Okay, yeah. I can see that. Yeah, Gannis Tower has so much value. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, the Moon Pearl, those 2 swords, the hook shot, the boots, and the Eastern Palace big key. Just
Yeah.
so mean. And then the location of the fire rod as well, just so inconvenient.
I was heading towards the right side to do the bomb jump, but I'm not very good at it. Like, well, for the like where the big key for Eastern was. Kind of wish that I need to practice that one. And like the other bomb jumps, most of the times I want to do that if I have boots, because you can bonk across some of the more difficult bomb jumps. So I definitely need to learn that.
So, I have a question here regarding your Swamp Palace. You went in, got the Titan Spits, and then immediately left. Were you thinking about doing Left Side Swamp later, or just ignoring it?
Yeah, I did. I got the mitts, and I was like, nice, this opens up so much for me, and just mirrored out, and I was like, wait, I don't have a Moon Pearl.
Thankfully, there was nothing over there, but...
yeah, I was thinking for a long time that might have been Moon Pearl, because it took such a long time before we got it.
Yeah. Instead, it was a required double dip in the Gannis Tower, and unfortunately for you, it was a triple dip, because I think after you got the... No,
yeah, I probably quadruple dipped Gannis Tower, to be honest.
Well, I wasn't counting that first dip, because you were just a preliminary check, you know? When you actually were diving in there for real, that's...
Yeah, that makes sense.
Do you play a lot of cross keys, Walter?
I do, yeah. I think it's super fun.
How would you compare this
on the
seed
game
to a lot of the other seeds you play?
I mean, the Moon Pearl was kind of late, but like climbing Gannis Tower early, even though I say most of the times it's nothing, you can definitely get seeds like that, where like sometimes you can have to... It's interesting. It's kind of like inverted in one way, because you have to prepare to do some like low percent strats against things that you would normally never have to do it. But yeah, it's fun. It's like an adventure. Every seed is very unique.
Yeah. It was a shame, though, that the Moon Pearl kind of led you astray at the end, because you had so much to explore
Yeah.
now that you had your Moon Pearl. But your answer
It was super hard to decide where to go first.
And your answer was just simply, go see something, and then go right back to GT.
Yeah.
And
it was like it made sense to try and like focus the dungeons at first, because I'm gonna have to do that anyways, right? So if the 2 items I'm looking for happens to be there, then that would be convenient. But you don't always get that.
Yeah, well, overall, what did you think of the seed?
It was a fun one. I just wished, well, maybe if the boots could have been not upstairs in GT, it would have been better. It was fun overall.
Well,
Even in seeds where stuff like this, like today, happens, when stuff just goes bad, it's still a fun mode. I still enjoy it, even through the hard times.
well, good. That's good to hear, and just thanks for sticking with it at the very least. Never did find that Bombos or the witches, but it looks like if I was reading the panning, there was just a map, and the book is still MIA, even though it said literacy moves in the end credits. That's one of those that doesn't give you a hint of what was there. That's just referencing the Desert Palace entrance.
Well, you put on a great show, Walter. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What do you-
thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks for restreaming, like commentating and all that stuff, guys.
Yeah. Thank you for giving us a good race.
Make sure you guys get your GG's chat for both PKR and Walter. That was a lot of fun. If you wanted to see craziness with the Cross Keys race, you got it. This was a doozy.
Yeah, make sure to also, of course, follow us here on Speed Game. I mean, we have the main channel, and we have Speed Gamers 2 through 6, and we also have, apparently we also have now 4 foreign language restreams. We have German, we have Spanish, we have French, and now we apparently have Portuguese. If I understand that correctly. Also, of course, make sure to follow my co-com Fear Agent and our tracker, literally Jen. And make sure to stay tuned to the schedule, because not just Link to the Past is featured on Speed Game. We have a bunch of races. Earlier today, I saw a Kirby's Dream Land race. There's going to be All Boars No Swords for Zelda 1 Randomizer. There's just a whole lot of variety here. Good variety. There's going to be something you're going to enjoy, not just Link to the Past. But as far as Link to the Past Randomizer goes, from all of us here, I have been Wolflink0370, and we shall see you all next time, and thank you for watching. Have a good day, everyone.
Bye-bye.